Hi, welcome to another episode of Confessions of an Inadvertent Doper, which is what we're calling this thing. Today, I've got John Travis from NSF Certified for Sport on, and we're going to be talking about some things that I didn't know that I didn't know. So hopefully we can get some information out.
So, hi, folks. My name is John Travis, longtime employee here at NSF. And a little history behind that. This is my new role. I am the certified for sport lead here at NSF. Prior to that, I spent a number of years, 26 in total, doing analytical testing. So I was the gentleman that was responsible for devising majority of test methods for our certified for sport program. So I have intimate knowledge on how that works and the things we do here as far as certified for sport.
Very cool. So tell me about the organization. Tell me what you guys do. Tell me, let's start with how do you certify a company? What is the process you go through, and kind of go into that just a little bit, or a lot, actually.
Sure. So just a little bit of history on NSF. I mean, we've been around since 1944. Obviously, supplements have not been around since 44. So we got our start doing certification work and developing standards of quality for different products in soda fountain machines. So that's our anonymous start. And then it was around year 2000 that we were approached by some industry members that had worked with us in water filtration kinds of certification. And they were interested in us developing a standard for dietary supplements. So we have a NSF 173, which we'll call our contents, that has some quality things as far as label claims for supplements, like that. Let's say vitamin C supplement has the amount of vitamin C that it lists on the label, and it's also not contaminated with lead, other heavy metals like that, or microbial contamination. So that was actually launched in 2001. 2004, we were approached by the National Football League. They were having a rash of supplements causing doping issues within their organization, and they wanted us to help develop a testing program for dietary supplements for prohibited substances in sport. So our initial customer there was EAS, and that's really how we began doing the supplement work.
Okay. So what is the process of getting a supplement company certified? I know there's a bunch of information on your website that kind of covers it in general, but what does that process entail in terms of getting that NSF stamp on the container itself?
So this is all fee for service. So the brands come to us as a third party certifier. So we offer that kind of work in that kind of paradigm. But in order for a brand to get certified, there are three things, especially in certified for sport. There are three things they have to complete and successfully. So the first thing is their products must be manufactured in a GMP, which is good manufacturing practices certified plant. So that really means that we have an auditor that goes in the facility and inspects the plant to make sure they're following the manufacturing practices. So for instance, hygiene of the plant, training of the employees, things of that nature is what we assess there. So that's step one. Step two is, we'll call it that label claim testing I was talking to earlier. That's our NSF 173. It's the content certified. So we test the product to make sure the label's accurate for how it has, for instance, like I said before, the vitamin C. We also look for the heavy metals, and we also make sure that it's not contaminated with microbial contamination. And then there are some other contaminants we would look for in more of the specialized. So for instance, in fish oils, there are other contaminants we look for to make sure that there are not substances in there that make people sick. Then the last rung of the ladder, so to speak, is the certified for sport testing, where we test every lot of certified product. So any lot that bears our mark has been tested for around 280 different substances of the different classes, from anabolic steroids like testosterone or stanozolol, to diuretics like hydrochlorothiazide, to stimulants like amphetamine or sibutramine, SARMs, ibutamoren being something close to that class, and some of the newer things. So yeah, those are the latest ones, the SARMs that are coming out.
Okay. So anytime it has an NSF label, it's it's essentially been. Did I understand that right? It's essentially been tested and confirmed that those are the ingredients that are in it. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. That's another one of those giant lists of things I didn't know I didn't know.
Well, so yeah, I mean that is one of the benefits of that, in that, when I mean, how many publications have you seen come out in mass media where they talk about, well, this supplement doesn't have this in it, or I don't know if you remember a few years ago where the New York Attorney General accused all of those brands for containing or for selling supplements that didn't have any, like for instance, St. John's wort in them. That
Right.
was a few years ago. So that is what our testing and certification services are supposed to eliminate.
Okay. So basically, if it says it's got an NSF stamp on it and says it's 4,000 units of vitamin C, it's 4,000 units of vitamin C, and nothing else that's not on the label.
Exactly. That's what we verify.
Okay. So what? I'm guessing the supplement companies that are NSF certified, um, their controls are rather rigorous on that. Obviously, that's something on the USADA side and all the USADA documentation, they only talk about NSF, and that's kind of the gold standard in terms of them. I get and this is speculation on my part, but I get the impression that USADA would prefer nobody take any supplements at all. But I don't I don't see that happening a lot in sport at this point with the supplements that are available, the legal supplements that are available, and and the performance benefits you get from those. But you are the only ones that they actually mentioned by name. So that's got to be a feather in the cap in terms of that. But what about supplement companies that you've gone to take these three steps to get certified, and they simply didn't cut muster on it? What are you finding in these places, if you have them, that they're failing with that?
So, I mean, that's a huge question. So I guess it depends upon for what they fail. So for instance, brands, let's say they don't meet label claim for vitamin C. Let's say they have 500 milligrams of vitamin C, and we have certain tolerances around that label claim that are allowed. So for instance, our testing is only so accurate, to be honest with you. So there's sort of a certain tolerance around that. So if they fail outside that tolerance, they have a chance to remediate that product. So by remediation, they can change their label. There are different aspects that we offer to them to be able to come in compliance. If they fail for a prohibited substance being in that product, that's something completely different. Or even a microbial being in a product, those are completely different things. It's very unlikely that they could ever make one of those products safe for human consumption. So at that point in time, we give the brand some options what they can do, and one of them is destroy the product. So you can imagine the stakes of a brand that would come to us certified for sport and learn that, let's say, the product could be contaminated with E. coli, or the product could be contaminated with let's say, what's a good one here, ligandrol.
Okay.
And essentially we provide them some options as to what they have to, the disposition of that product after they have tested like that. And one of the disposition options is destroying the product.
So there's a high financial cost to not getting it right.
Yes.
Okay.
So therein lies when you hit one of the nails on the head, that there is a high cost. So brands that come to us with their products for the certification, I mean, they have a tremendous investment in those kind of quality initiatives. So the failure rate is very, very low.
Okay.
I will say that much.
Okay. What, just out of curiosity, I've envisioned a batch of, I don't know, creatine coming in, and there's a brew pub down the street from my gym, and we've got the big beer tanks. This is kind of how I envision, a big giant gob of creatine powder dumped in. What is the typical size of a batch? I mean,
That
if there is
I
one.
I know it depends upon the manufacturer. I mean, the size of the manufacturer really dictates, and some of them have different kinds of, we'll call them mixing chambers. I've seen them, and you're right, they do look like those giant fermenters. So those tanks that you see in a brew pub, they're very, I mean, they're stainless steel. They're conical at the bottom, so some of them can be very similar to that. I don't have a good handle on it. It really varies across there. I mean, there's some of them that are small. If they smell small batches, because you will do. I mean, there's a cottage industry of making, we'll call it craft batches of dietary supplements. But then you have the larger brands that have enormous size batches. So
Okay. So the whole gamut, pretty much.
yeah, the whole gamut. It's not a one size fits all.
Okay. Very interesting. Um, so tell me about this app. So one of the things that was always frustrating, and probably one of the reasons I got a little bit lackadaisical on my own situation in terms of this stuff is, um, I didn't realize that the NSF stamp on the thing meant it was covered anyway. But B, it was one of the frustrations, and probably the only frustration I've had with USADA in this is I never checked the NSF thing. I always checked the USADA sites or the supplement sites themselves, and finding batch numbers that you know that you knew were tested, and trying to hunt through a supplement store, and going through those, and either buying one and going home and spending a half an hour trying to research that batch number and hope you got the right one, or trying to go through and wade through 20 tubs of protein trying to find the right batch number for that. You've got an app that apparently does that rather conveniently. Why don't you tell us about that? This is one of these cool things that I discovered and wished I discovered whatever it came out.
Yeah, so I mean, a little history of that. Before we had the app, athletes had to do exactly what you said. It was it was a painful process where they had have to know the product they're taking, look at the lot, and then consult our website to be able to learn what was certified and what was not. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was painful. Few years, quite a few years ago, I think the app has been around what, 6 years now, 7 years.
Okay.
But we developed the app, and what that allows is it's got that handy scan feature. So if you're in a brick and mortar store, that's where it works best, and you see a lot of product. First, look at the label. If it's got our mark on it's certified. I mean, all lots that are certified have to bear that mark. But if you're still unsure, you want that extra um, assurance, scan the barcode with the scanner feature, and it'll pop up. I wish I had a product here that was not scanned. I could show you exactly what it would say if that product is not certified. There's a,
Oh,
like a
okay.
big there's a big warning. It's like not certified. It's in red. Comes up. It's got all kinds of things on it that tells you that we haven't tested that product.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'll scrounge up a product that I know is probably not, well, certainly not certified by you guys, and do a little bit of a demo on my app, because I've been basically walking through any place that had anything. You know, Costco has protein powder by the Costco bag. Zapping those things, and I got to say it's so much easier. It's one of those things that the app, you just download it, and go start scanning away, and that makes it a lot easier and a lot more comforting in terms of feeling assured that you're not going to have you're not going to have an issue like that. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic product. Yeah, anything else you'd like to throw in? I think that kind of covers it on my end. Going through your website, definitely check out the NSF Certified for Sport page on the website, and got some great information there. And again, one of the things that I've been kicking myself for, which is a few of them, but one of the things is, it never dawned on me to look at the NSF site, because, like I said, it was through USADA, or it was through the product themselves, or things along those lines, and this just seems to make it so much easier.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the app, or if folks would rather see something on a larger screen, go to nsfsport.com. So that's our sport website. That's easier to navigate for the sports world than the nsf.org site. So I still recommend nsfsport.com. So it's a very easy interface. So you can actually browse all the products that are certified there, and it lists all the lots. So if you're ever really curious or have some nighttime insomnia, you want to look through those things, you can do that.
Great. We'll put the link. We'll put the link down below, and keep that. But yeah, unless you have anything else to add, I think that gives us some good information and some good stuff to work with. Check out the app, download the app, and start firing that barcode away. But I certainly appreciate you taking the time, and Callie, thank you as well. And yeah, it's been great to have you on.
All right, thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you.
Thank you both.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Yeah, no, that was great. That was good information, and yeah, hopefully that'll get out to a whole bunch of people, and everybody will walk through GNC with their phone out scanning barcodes, and we can avoid somebody else sitting here stammering around.
Spreading the message so athletes don't encounter what happened to you. That's what I'm about. Because I mean, when that happens, it breaks my heart.
Well, it was, in my case, it was frustrating, and totally, I mean, I remember USADA calling me and going, hey, by the way, hey, and it came up on my phone as USADA, and I went, hey guys, what's up? Just oblivious to everything, and letting me know. And yeah, there was about a weekend there that I pretty much sat on a couch and didn't do anything. Right. It was just kind of a stunning thing. And, hopefully there's some good comes out of it, and people get the information, and, we'll all move on from here, but hopefully with better education than, like I said, I had no idea what I didn't know in a lot of cases going through this whole process that I'm just trying to cover and get out there. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time, and thank you.